start with a brief background on what we are trying to do through this research, and then I can start with my questions for
and
you.
also a part of the objective of this program.
Sure, yeah. So this is the part of ACCA's public value agenda in India. As you know, ACCA is accountancy professional accountant body, and we do thought leadership on subjects that are relevant for finance professionals. So this particular research subject, Fintech as a Catalyst for Growth, Lessons from India, focuses on the role that Fintech is playing in India's economic growth. We're focusing on three sectors: education, energy, financial services, and we're looking at the use cases, challenges, opportunities, recommendations, and of course, the role that finance professionals have to play in this growing ecosystem. So that's a bit on the background and objective. I'll take a pause to see if you have any questions, and then I can start with my first question for you.
As such, I do not have any question. I will try and share with you my thoughts exactly in line with the questions which you have preset for me, and you can go ahead.
Thank you. Sounds good. So I'll start with my first question to get your insights on any emerging trends and innovations that you would have experienced in overseeing mostly. Going beyond just the standard use cases such as financial inclusion or access to finance for MSMEs, are there any other trends and innovations that you'd like to highlight?
Thanks, Pooja. Thanks, Shiva, for spotting me and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on the issues which Pooja has identified for this interview. I have quite a bit to share. The first thing I would like to share, which is the very latest development in fintech, is Finternet. Finternet, Finternet. I do not know whether you have heard about it, but Finternet is an absolutely new phenomena. A white paper has been published by a gentleman called Augustine Carstens and Nandan Nilekani. Augustine Carstens is a Mexican economist who works for Bank of International Settlements, which is a multilateral agency, work as a world kind bank for settlement, etc. They are trying to develop a thought process of interconnected financial ecosystem for empowerment of both business and individuals. By the word interconnected, they mean that there are financial systems in our country or any other country for that matter, which they want to interconnect through WARNet. Like the world is today connected with one net called Web 1, Web 2, Web 3. Now they want to call it Finternet instead of web or internet. What it will come into it, the entire banking system, the insurance system, the investment system, mutual funds, then your insurance companies, then non-banking financial corporations, neobanks, UPI systems, and it will be a part of the integrated public digital infrastructure. This is essentially objective is to provide an interconnected ecosystem of all financial services for personalized services, to foster participation of all in a seamless manner, speed and reliability. Now, in order to achieve that, it is in a thought process moment, but in order to achieve this, the areas which have been identified for this particular new initiative on fintech to be successful are interoperability, verifiability, which is in blockchain, we call it zero knowledge proof or ZKP, programmability, that is one should be able to program it, whatever new requirement comes one after the other, immutability, of course, evolvability, scalability, and security, safety, and privacy. Now, the qualities which are being thought for is something which one can think of in a blockchain technology. Moreover, if different financial systems like banking, insurance, investment, stock exchange, non-banking financial institution, if these platforms are in different types of platform and cannot be brought to a public chain, then Finternet perhaps would be never a starter. It will always remain a non-starter. So as I guess it, or as I think of it, Internet is going to be a mega blockchain, which will not be one blockchain, of course, multiple blockchain connected seamlessly with interoperability facilities. And of course, when we talk about interoperability, we are also talking about uh, 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 program interfaces where the program interfaces are also to be encrypted. So this is the one I talked about, Nandan Nilekani and Mr. Carsten's thought. Something which I'm going to tell you as my second idea is my own idea, tokenization and fragmented ownership for capital asset. Let me for a moment take you to the urban areas of any country, to the village areas of any country, say the cocoa growing countries of Africa, or the villagers of Malaysia, Indonesia, or India, the mango growers, the cardamom orchard players, everybody, they suffer from a couple of problems. The problem number one, they have to sell their harvest immediately without storing at a low price, because they don't have any storage facility, they don't have any cold storage, they don't have any warehouse, and they don't have the power to hold it. So the idea which I presented in a couple of conferences very recently, within last about 6 months, is a tokenization for fragmented ownership. Let's assume that there is a village where there are 200 cocoa growers, or mango growers, or apple orchards, or say there are tomato growers, or whatever, potatoes. So what they can do, instead of selling it to the powerful intermediaries, they can develop their own warehouses, develop their own cold storages. And when they develop these cold storages, who will give them money? So my ideation is that, suppose in an area, if 1,000 or 2,000 village farmers club together, and they did give little firm, which will form as fragmented ownership, and there will be a pull up money which will be tokenized as the ownership share of individual people or individual farmers, and then they will form the cold storage on the warehouse. The cold storage will be not under the proprietary ownership of anybody. It will be fragmented ownership. People fragmentedly own it. Now, there will be two sides of this ownership. One side of the ownership is that these people who will be the fragmented owners, they will give it for operations by to a startup or any other organization. They will run the cold storage. The cold storage will be a profit center or a profit-making proposition. The owners who will be also using the cold storage for storing and managing their harvest, they will also have to pay a fees. Now, the profit that will be earned by the cold storage will be definitely be distributed like any other commercial organization. Now, you can say that if I invest today, say 2,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees as a fragmented owner, uh, can I sell it in future? The idea would be, yes, you can sell it in future, because in the same blockchain platform, there will be buying and selling of ownership, that is the token, which will be non-fungible token. The warehouse and the cold storage will be operated. So there will be, it's not that there will be any stringent and you have to own it for lifelong. Point number one. Point number two, say you keep on asking to Gram Panchayat, the district level officers, the block level officers, the state government or the central government, we want this, we want this, we want this. I individually will not be, as a farmer, able to make a cold storage, construct a cold storage. But if 200, 300, 500, 1,000 farmers to come together, we'll be able to prepare a cold storage. It's not only cold storage. We need some farming equipment. We need some drones. We need some harvesting equipment. We need some food processing machine in order to instead of wasting our fruits, we'll process it and we become fruit processors. So they will be a self-sufficient people. What one man cannot do individually, through fragmented ownership, they'll be able to do it. So it is called tokenization in the new fintech era in the rural location of any country for helping people. This same idea can be extended for hospitals, making roads from the farming places to the highway, and say agricultural equipment, and for that matter any other infrastructure, which is a costly proposition, and people, one single person will not be able to do it, but through fragmented ownership it should be possible. Next fintech area coming up is RegTech, REGTECH, regulation technology. Instead of in case of regulation technology, it's a combination essentially of three items. One is cloud technology, machine learning, and big data analytics. The idea of this entire support proposition is to proactively identify the risks which are involved in a business operation situation. This RegTech can be in a very interesting proposition. Say all the public sector banking institutions can join for RegTech operations. They can pull their data. They may pull their data. They may not pull their data. Even RBI, who is the owner or who can have access to any data of any bank as a regulator, RBI can introduce the RegTech proposition. The objective of the RegTech would be prevent risk or proactively understand what is the risk coming up in the banking systems. And finally, ensure compliance management. I believe if RegTech would have been there, then Nirav Modi's case would have not been there. That a particular bank is issuing letter of comfort without getting into fintech, one after the other by writing on a physical register, that kind of situation definitely we would have avoided. Then my idea, which I have done last week, one digital transformation management development program for a company in Calcutta. There I also I introduced this item called integration of e-commerce and fintech. Integration of e-commerce and fintech. Let us say that Pooja has bought an Apple phone, which is 1,25,000, and Pooja is now checking out. The moment Pooja is saying that, okay, I bought this phone, now I want to check out, the button she clicks, Pooja gets a pop-up that, hey, would you like to avail of loan at a very attractive interest rate? Pooja says yes. Then directly Pooja gets migrated with the permission to a banking institution systems. There, the bank first asks, thank you so much for availing of consumer loan for durable. Do you have a bank account with us? Pooja says no. The moment Pooja says no, the bank asks a couple of information like Aadhaar card, PAN card, last RTR return, that is income tax return submitted, or pay slip. Bank has already implemented robotic process automation completely in their systems for their other loans, where on a disconnected basis, they used to collect applications in their website and they used to process. Now they are getting a business proposition from Amazon.com or Flipkart. And now within 5 minutes time, through robotic process automation by application of OCR technology, that is optical character recognitions, etc., the whole form is filled up. Robotic process automation, the application is reviewed, the loan is sanctioned. Once the loan is sanctioned, the bank says, okay, thank you, Pooja. We have opened your loan account. Your loan has been sanctioned. This is the terms and conditions which you've accepted with us. we have released the payment on your behalf to Apple. You can advise. Then you are sent back to the Apple warehouse. Sorry, Apple's e-commerce platform. Apple says, "Thank you, Pooja. We have received the payment from your bank. Your phone will be sent within 2 days' time to your residence." So what is happening? Digital transformation, when opens a new business model and a revenue models, then only you can say that you have gone from digitalization step to digital transformation step. Unless
Okay.
digital transformation helps you to generate a new business model and a new revenue model, you are only digitalization stakeholder only. You have not migrated to digital transformation stage. So
Right.
if you, if this is an example of integration of e-commerce and fintech, we can do similar integrations like in carbon credit management and so on.
Mm. Yeah.
Next is the extension of banking to neo banking. As you know, Bill Gates said that we need banking, but we don't need banks.
Mm.
You must be knowing that in 1990s he said that, and that
Yeah.
exactly is happening today. Now we
Mm.
say that we need banking, but we need neo banking. So you have today phone pay aggregators of payment, right? Now these aggregators of payment are going several steps ahead of only becoming a bank payment system. They are serving you as a SaaS provider, software as a service provider. ICICI Bank has already started. They
Yeah.
are, these neobanks can be a Reserve Bank permission, or for that matter, any country's permission position holder. They can then be a full stack banker. Otherwise, like they can be like Paytm, which is only payment banker and some lending banker. In neo
Yeah.
banking situation, a customer, instead of having its own operating system, can have a connected system for order to cash or procurement to payment. This kind of software system they can hold, and they that can be seamlessly integrated with their banking
Yeah.
system. In any case,
Mm.
neo bankings are doing KYC. So neo
Yeah.
banking is a very, very important point. Next is the
Yeah.
insurance tech. Insurance
Mm.
technology in fintech area is doing wonderful job. Uh, I can go to my office in from 3 different routes.
Yeah.
And now each route has got its accident data with the insurance company. So insurance
Right.
company will decide the insurance premium on a daily basis. Tomorrow,
Yeah.
how many times I have pushed the brake suddenly? How many times I have had a very sharp bend and cut? Through the IoT fitted in the car, the insurance company can decide my style of and riskiness of my driving. I can give
Right.
you another very interesting phenomenon of crowdfunding, which is a
Right.
me along
Yeah.
with the professor of Alaska University, UK,
Mm-hmm.
and sorry, Alaska University, US, and a professor of Australia, New England University, and an IMK professor. We have done a research with 471 data received from various respondents about crowdfunding. We have designed a very interesting proposition where people like you who are young, bright people, if you have 30% of your salary as investable surplus, you can allocate 5 to 10% of your salary for risky investment in startups. Now
Mm.
this crowdfunding will be done through blockchain, and you will be doing only little investment. Now
Mm.
each startup is a very high profitable proposition. So as we have seen many uh, um, startups coming to billion-dollar company, which is we call it unicorn or unicorns. Now, if
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
of 10, 1 or 2 only become successful, you will get 300 to 400% return. So we
Right.
have designed very uniquely funding propositions like participation in equity, participation in convertible equity. Then,
Right.
then you can give them loan, and subsequently the startup can give you discount in their service product, and thus the loan interest and the principal can be
Yeah.
can be paid off. Or you can
Mm.
give distributing. Suppose I am doing a tangible finished product in the form of a
Mm.
startup. Tomorrow I can give you distributorship because the product will be very much in demand. So you give me loan today, tomorrow I'll give you distributorship. And when I give you distributorship, I invoice the products at a lower value. So this is another very interesting application of fintech, Pooja. So I gave you, to summarize, Finternet. I gave you RegTech technology. I gave you tokenization and fragmented ownership for capital asset creation. I gave you integration of e-commerce and fintech for with robotic process automation. I give you. I've done, of course, not talk to you about green finance and blue finance. That is another very interesting area which can be done through. I talked about neo banking, insurance tech, and crowdfunding. So these are some of the advanced application one can think of internet. Of course, neo banking, crowdfunding are coming up in a big way. And of course, my own idea of fragmented ownership through tokenization. Another very interesting development which I think is needed is, I think central bank digital currency should be immediately implemented so that blockchain can operate in seamlessly. Okay, Pooja. Next.
Dr. Basu, thank you for those examples. Those covered, I guess, almost all the innovations that I've come across, plus a new one, which is Finternet. So thank you for sharing those. Now, given that we have very less time left, I guess I'll rush through the rest of the questions. So maybe I'll come to the one that I needed your insights on the most, the role of finance professionals. My last question in the list that I shared.
You gave me 30 minutes time, right, Pooja?
Yeah.
How much time we wasted?
Yeah. No, we haven't wasted any time, but I guess we started at 4
I'll
or
give
5,
you a
so we
couple of
only have
challenges.
10 minutes.
I'll give you a couple of challenges.
Okay, let's do
and
that.
That will help, and that will also serve a part of your finance people contribution. Smart contracts and creating smart contract library for blockchain platform is a very, very interesting phenomena. Interoperability of particular platforms, particularly KYP. Every blockchain platform, it has to do the know your participant. For every single blockchain platform, that will be a difficulty. So I think if there is only one blockchain platform where so many people can do the KYP facility from their blockchain platform, that will be useful.
Sure.
Change mindset of people, that's very important. And financial executive and our finance professionals can can remove the idiosyncrasies of people so that we keep on adopting. One of the major problem of adopting blockchain today is idiosyncrasy. Weaponization of technology is a very big challenge. As you know, NATO has already declared that technology has been converted into weapon, and the next major threat which comes to NATO countries is from cyber criminalism. So technology has to be is a silent killer and it's a sudden killer. Suddenly one day you find a hospital in Britain has come to total closure because the entire computing system has been blocked. So these are some of the challenges. Particularly, I'm very critical about smart contract formation, which is very, very important, where business managers, lawyers, finance professionals, and digital technologies and scientists have to come together. So smart contract creation is a very, very important point here.
Sure.
The accountants can go for ethical hacking as a profession. That's a must. That's a must. A very, very, very big organization. In fact, the organization for which I did the management development programs, MDPs, ethical hacking has not been adopted at all by people. And next challenge is quantum computing. As you know, even blockchain can be also hacked by quantum computers, because what a quantum computer can do in 10 minutes, a normal computer cannot do in 10 years. That is the capability of quantum computer. So my suggestion for governments of any country is that quantum computer production, quantum computer manufacturing, selling, and usage should be completely controlled by government. My another suggestion would be a world is one and we are all the members of the same one world village. So all the international regulations should be under universal altruism. That should be the spirit of
Right.
it. Pooja,
Yeah.
you will be agree with me that technology doesn't have humanity, moral, ethics, compassion, empathy,
Yeah.
and passion,
Yeah.
but technologists have those qualities.
Yeah.
Technology does not have those qualities of ethics, morality, compassion, empathy, etc. But technologists have. So the accounting fraternity and financial fraternity has a very big role to play in terms
Yeah.
of propagating that it's not technology which is a curse. It is the people who misuse the technology and abuse the technology for ulterior motive and making profit is a curse.
Mm. Yeah. 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 Very well said, Dr. Basu. So that, to some extent, covers the challenges and the role that you see finance professionals play. Is there anything else as a role for accountancy and finance professionals? So we've talked about their role from some of these innovations perspective, but for them working as finance professionals within fintech setups, within these evolving organizations, what role do you see them playing in, say, taking care of internal controls, taking care of the ethical issues that you highlighted? I see them playing quite a bit of a role there. So, what are your perspective on that?
Pooja, I have a big thing to say, which I do not know whether you will agree with me. I have 34 years of corporate experience and now 11 years of teaching as a senior professor of IIM Code and also in MIMS University. I feel the immediate role which is cut out for finance professionals, particularly a group of finance professionals, is research. India badly needs financial research. Like I'll give an example. I was reading a research paper of MSME, digital transformation of MSME enterprises of Latvia. I was reading
Hmm.
a recent paper of World Economic Forum where it is said that contribution of micro, small and medium enterprises in Europe and USA are reducing as compared to the earlier rate of contribution vis-a-vis GDP. In
Hmm.
India also, they command about 40% of India's GDP comes from MSME sector, and they are badly in need of digital transformation. Digital transformation helps for minimization of value destruction and maximization of value creation. So we need badly research on items like digital transformation on micro, small, and medium enterprises. We need to research to understand the latent demand of the society. So when the routine mundane job is taken over by robotic process automation, why not our accountants work for researching out, creating innovative financial products, do Finternet, which is the dream proposition today,
Hmm.
help in natural language processing, create software solutions which are online real-time auditing possible. Another very important area of accounting and finance professional must do is planning and forecasting. Business has
Yeah.
to achieve a proactive readiness to fight
Hmm.
out the risks. Now, if you have to achieve a proactive readiness, most important need for you to predict how is the business ecosystem like to evolve. Similarly, finance professionals control oversight, reporting, business analysis, MIS, every damn thing which is required becomes innovative because we cannot have a lag between having anything happening today and reporting day after tomorrow. It has to be instant and immediate. So my
Right.
personal feeling is that knowing the future, anticipating the future is very important. Product designing is very important. Research is very important. Drafting smart contracts, I couldn't help it 10 times telling it that this is the most important thing. Learning
Sure.
ethical
Yeah.
hacking. And last one, Pooja, I would like for the accounting and finance fraternity that today you need not to know programming language to program
Hmm.
software and create your own service products. You can do large language modeling. Through
Modeling.
large
Yeah.
language modeling, you can definitely create lots and lots of good propositions and future innovations like blue finance, then green
And green
finance,
finance. Hmm.
etc., etc.,
Yeah.
for your business.
Yeah.
for inclusive happiness and inclusive smile for
Yeah.
anybody and everybody under the sun, anywhere in the world, across the societal strata.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Dr. Basu. I guess we are
Thank you.
at time, but I'll still ask my last question, which is around recommendations. So we've talked about use cases, challenges, the role that finance professionals have to play. But are there any thoughts that you want to leave us with when it comes to recommendations for both users as well as regulators, given that the ecosystem is changing so fast, it's evolving so fast. So just to make sure that it continues to progress and the revolution continues to thrive, are there any thoughts around the regulatory ecosystem?
Pooja, if you permit me, if you want to write a couple of things, I can send you a couple of slides of mine where I
Okay.
talked about 8WH principles of solution designing. 8WH principles of solution designing, point number one. Then I have created a framework for deciding whether any companies, any system needs a blockchain technology based solution. So if you want to write a book by name, you can introduce these thoughts of mine, 8WH of principles of solution designing. But I will repeat one point which I talked in the World Blockchain Summit in Moscow, where I was the summit chairperson also, that human dimensions of financial technology, human dimension of digital transformation is very, very important thing to appreciate. In fact, Economic Times invited me in 2021 to speak in their national conference on digital technologies. And they asked me which one would be your preferred topic. I'll say human and ethical dimensions of digital transformation. So I repeat one statement. Technology doesn't have humanity, morality, ethics, compassion, empathy, and value generation skill, but the technologies have it. So it is not technology which is bad. It is the users and their ulterior motive which is bad. This is one point. Second point is that in 1948, United Nations declared the Universal Human Rights Declaration. 1948 in their Paris conference. There are certain sections in that Paris conference, and I'll make you read the sections. Article 1, Article 3, Article 12, 28, and 29. These are the 5 articles are very, very fundamental for information privacy, safety, and security. As long as you are not adopting blockchain and a dynamic algorithm for blockchain protection, at least you must respect, because as you know, there are 30 articles in that Universal Human Rights Declaration. Out of 5 are very, very closely applicable for digital transformation through fintech. And I personally feel that United Nations International Monetary Fund, Bank of International Settlement, IMF, and any other multilateral agency like OECD, etc., they should come together and create one regulatory framework which can be universally applicable, like World Aviation Standard or
Right.
IFRS of that sort. Because if you can follow World Aviation Standard without changing any full stop and semicolon, you can also follow those. Of course, every country will be having its own specific requirements according to the nature and internal realities of the country. But definitely, so far the humanity comes, everybody is same. Whether a cocoa grower in Uruguay, Uganda, Kenya, or an apple orchard owner in Himachal Pradesh, or a tomato grower in Nagpur city of India, they are the same. They are the poor people. So my personal comment is that we should be using technology for the purpose of humanity, shared value propositions, and for the purpose of seeing smile in the face of everybody under the sun across the societal strata anywhere in the world. And most importantly, we should be sharing the value we create through digital transformation. There is a prediction of an Oxford University research that there will be a huge financial disparity coming up because the technologies are being built, solutions are being built by people in the southern hemisphere of the world. And those solutions are being adopted by people of the upper hemisphere of the world, that is the US and Europe. They are
Yeah.
adopting for making profit by using these technologies. But the people who are creating these technologies from the Asia, etc., they are the people are suffering. So this research says that by by 2035 or 40, there will be a huge financial disparity. So as a predictive analysis, my suggestion would be, let us look forward what is coming up in our way and prepare for today through fintech.
Yeah, that's a very fair point, Dr. Basu, and thank you for leaving us with that thought. I hope that materializes someday, and
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
see when. But if that works, that's going to be a very equitable ecosystem of development as well as regulations.
Correct,
So those
Pooja,
were all
correct.
the questions that I had, Dr. Basu. Thank you
Yeah,
so much once again for taking this time, and I'll keep you posted on the
okay.
developments. Yeah,
Stop recording. I have just one thing to ask you. Uh,
Dan, go ahead.
you stopped recording? Just
Yes.
one thing to ask.